position off a kickoff with Nick Lowry.
He gets a pretty good one, though. It'll be taken at the 3-yard line by Eric Moles. Moles out to the 15 and decked at that point. Ched Kaskaden made it. He's the one that dropped him. We want to welcome those that have been watching the Miami-Philadelphia game. Philadelphia winning that one by a score of 35-28. And here is Jim Kelly as he brings out the offense for the Buffalo Bills. And he has been struggling. Everybody knows about it. 2 touchdown passes, 11 interceptions in 4 ball games. Missed 2 games due to injuries.
Watch this offense closely. They're coming out in 3 wides, 1 running back. It's been a lot more conservative than Kelly's been used to.
And opening up on the ground with the ever dependable Thurman Thomas. And he's going to pick up about 6 yards on the play. Let's look at the offense of the Buffalo Bills. Here's that offensive line, Randy.
The 2 guys that have to come to the party for the Bills today, Ostrowski and Glenn Parker. They absolutely stunk the joint up last week, got hammered by the Miami Dolphins.
Backs and receivers.
Quinn Early and Andre Reed, quick patterns. They want to go quick early underneath. They know they can go deep.
2nd down and 4, 21-yard line. Play action fake. Here is the reverse to Andre Reed. We'll take another look as Reed is down around the 27-yard line.
Opening up with a little razzle-dazzle. You know the Jets have got to be concerned with Thurman Thomas. Despite Kelly's problems, you play the Buffalo Bills, you still worry about Thurman Thomas and the run. And it's a great situation for Marv Levy and his staff when they see that concern with the run to bring in an early reverse, because that just softens up the run defense a little bit.
Bobby Houston pulled him down at the 27-yard line. 1st down, Buffalo. Opening drive of the ball game. Play action fake. Good protection. Throws off of the fake into the left flat. Tony Klein, the tight end, pulls it in. Let's check out the New York Jet defense. And we'll start with their front 4.
I like the front 4, especially Marvin Washington. Hamilton's the new guy in there as a starter, but Marvin Washington can make people miss and get in the backfield.
And their linebackers in secondary.
Well, Mo Lewis makes this whole thing go, but the guy everybody's been attacking is the rookie, Ray Mickens, at corner.
A loss of a yard on the last play. 2nd down and 11. Quick pitch on the turn to Thurman Thomas rather than the handoff. And he takes a straight shot up the middle. Rick Hamilton, the middle linebacker for the Jets, is there to make the tackle.
Now, good blocking from the back side of the Buffalo Bills line. Now, watch it as we roll it here. It's stuffed onside. Onside, there's nothing. See, they're pulling the tag. The guard, Reuben Brown, back around. The blocking was so good backside by Hall and company that Thurman had somewhere to go.
3 wide receivers, including Thurman Thomas. So in reality, 4 wides on the set. And we've got a flag down. 12:18, time remaining. We're in the 1st quarter. 3rd down and 6 from the whistle sound.
Prior to the snap, offense number 60. 5-yard penalty.
That's on Jerry Ostrowski,
3rd down.
the right guard. That'll take it back to the 26-yard line.
That right side had some problems. Rich Kotite knows that his defensive line, he describes them as a bunch of fighters and battlers. They've got an offensive line in Buffalo. They know run blocks very well. But Kotite also knows his guys are going to get a chance to put some shots on the Buffalo quarterback.
After the penalty, 3rd down and 11. Kelly, good protection, throws way underneath the zone coverage to Thomas, and he is dropped around the 31-yard line. So it's only going to go for 5. It'll be 4th down and 6, and that will mean, of course, that Buffalo will kick it away. Lonnie Young makes the play for the New York Jets.
Come a little closer, Thurman. Come a little closer.
Wayne Krebet is the return man for the Jets. And Chris Moore, with a 42.8-yard average, there he is, number 9, is going to kick. Buffalo has not had a kick block this year. Moore in his career has had a couple of them blocked. Here's Krebet, fair catch at the 26-yard line. No score here between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. We want to welcome those who have been watching the New England-Indianapolis game with the New England Patriots upsetting Indianapolis 27-9.
Well, that tightens up this AFC East race we mentioned earlier with the team everybody wants to bury, the Buffalo Bills, still right in the thick of it. They're still the team to beat in this division. For all the preseason hype about Jimmy Johnson, for all the hoopla about Captain Comeback Jim Harbaugh in Indianapolis, when it comes down to the time you worry about it in December, you're going to have to beat Buffalo if you're in the AFC East.
All right, here's a look at the offense of the New York Jets. And the Jet offensive line with Elliott, Galbraith, Duffy, O'Dwyer, and Williams. Backs and receivers.
Keep an eye on Keyshawn Johnson. Remember, this is AstroTurf. He's had that recent scope for a cartilage in his knee. It's got to be tough making those cuts, especially off the knee that was scoped.
2nd down and 7. On the first play, they picked up 3. Here's Adrian Morrell off the right side. Almost breaks it clean. Just a step away. Jeff Burris is the man who made the play that saved the big game. All right, here is the defense of Buffalo, one of 3 teams that run a 3-4.
And not real 3-4 ends in Phil Hansen and Bruce Smith, because those guys 2-gap. They just stuff people in there. These aren't 2-gap defensive ends.
Linebackers in secondary.
Well, the defensive backs get left alone in man coverage a lot, but those linebackers move and they blitz well.
It is a 1st down, and here's Morrell. In reality, it looked like a student body left with everybody coming to the near side. And he's going to go for maybe a yard, but that's going to be it. The Buffalo defense led by the linebacker, number 55, Mark Maddox.
This is a fast Buffalo defense that loves to stunt and move. They stunt those defensive linemen. They move those linebackers all over the place. If you're going to do business running the ball, you aren't going to do it to the sidelines. You better go right at them and take your medicine, because once in a while you're going to get stuffed in the backfield. But your best chance is what the Jets did a couple plays ago. Go inside and make it pop quick.
Adrian Morrell already has rushed for 13. Right to throw. Pass is right on target. Keyshawn Johnson. He had his knee down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a couple and maybe 3 yards shy of the 1st down. But first things first, as we go to New York for an update.
All right, Charlie, thank you very much. In Dallas, this is how the Cowboys avoided being the Falcons' first victim inside 2 minutes. Troy Aikman to Kelvin Williams, 60 yards and a touchdown to give Dallas a 32-28 win. First time this season the Cowboys have been above 500. They're 4-3, Charlie.
All right, thank you, Greg, for the update. And here's Adrian Morrell as he stretches out to the 50-yard line, and he will pick up the 1st down for the New York Jets. And of course that means that Atlanta losing, they still are looking for their first victory, as are the New York Jets.
Well, Richie Kotite knows his offense has got to attack this defense. A week ago, this defense was frothing at the mouth and just spraying everywhere and splattering Miami Dolphins. Right now, they are not all pumped up, geeked out of their brains, running nuts. The Jets have a chance to get something going here offensively. Be patient, run the ball, and take it at this defense while you got them really not paying attention.
1st down, 50-yard line. Right going deep, has a man. It is Keyshawn Johnson at the 32-yard line. Gain of 18 yards on the play and the 1st down. And what a return. That is his 2nd reception of the ballgame. Now 23 on the years, 2.5 weeks after having his knee scoped.
Well, on his first catch, his knee was down and his head was almost down with it. The next one, he gets out of motion. Nice confidence pass from Reich. Frank Reich told us the other day, Charlie, he says, look, I'm going to know where Keyshawn Johnson is every single play. He knows he's going to get pressure. He knows he's going to get a rush. So Corbett and Johnson have to read blitz and be ready to break off their patterns quickly.
Very wise quarterback who knows where Keyshawn is every play. Here's Adrian Morrell, 6'1" tackle, cuts back. Nice move. 22-yard line. It'll be close to the 1st down. Let's see where he gets his mark. Kurt Schultz with the tackle.
That play right there. Watch the blitz and stunning up front. See, you got Bryce Pop coming down. You got Hansen coming down. Pop misses him. and then the pursuit overreacts. A great read right there by Adrian Morrell. That was not really scheme offensively. That was innate ability from Richie Kotite's halfback, Adrian Morrell.
The Jets have scored only 3 points. Of course, a field goal on opening drives this season. This is their opening drive.
Well, you know, but for Richie can look on the bright side. For the first time this year, he's got the second worst offense on the field, because Buffalo's offense has not scored very much. They've scored less than the Jets have, and they really are off to a bad start. And Richie's offense right now has got the run going. That is what you got to do against Buffalo, because they want to rush the passer. They're not nuts about defending against the run consistently.
Buffalo, through their first 6 games, the record is 4-2, have scored only 7 touchdowns. It'll be second down, about a half a yard to go for the first down. Adrian Morrell has already rushed for 27 yards. And he's carried it 5 times. Right to throw, a little low, incomplete.
Yeah, but those are the kind of passes Reich has got to throw right now against this defense. If he can keep running the ball effectively, his coordinator, Ron Earhart, knows I can soften him up with the run. I can soften him. That'll open stuff up down the field. They can be a little less aggressive on the defensive side. That opens that up. Right now, short passes and a good running game.
Third down, about a half a yard to go. Look for the Jets to go to Adrian Morrell, number 29, the running back. In this situation, this season, he's picked up the first down 78% of the time. And he does here, too. So the Jets will continue now from the Buffalo Bills 20-yard line. We have no score. The Bills were thwarted in their opening drive, and this is the opening drive for the Jets. 6.5 left in the first quarter.
Well, Charlie, this isn't running to daylight. This is running to a soft spot. There's a soft spot right there. Look who's blocking in that soft spot for him. That is Keyshawn Johnson standing up the defender and making the key block. Watch Keyshawn.
Number 19.
Yeah, he's blocking on his fellow rookie right there. Great block right there. I mean, in a short yardage situation, you want to put your best type of wide receiver on a guy like Matt Stevens.
And here's Morrell again to the left side. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 7. Mark Maddox is there to bring him down.
You know, and that really shows me something. We talk about a receiver making catches after a knee surgery. But for Keyshawn Johnson, get out there, and he's blocking against a safety and Stevens inside where the run's coming right at him. Talk about exposing yourself and not really worrying about it. You know, he said, I'm not worried about my knee. He said, AstroTurf doesn't matter to me. I think when you get out there, you never really think it matters until you get out in live bullets are firing around.
They mark it at the 16-yard line, so it's second down and 6, right to throw. Into the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown. New York Jets, guess who? Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson told Lynn Berman, who's working the sideline with us today, that I guarantee, oh, those words, I guarantee a Jet victory. And he's got him started.
Well, what he's done, you notice at the end of that play, he pointed at his knee. This is just a good adjustment. Frank Reich throws the ball out to Keyshawn, hoping he knows it's short and can come back at it. Look at Jeff Burris turn his back. When he turned his back, he couldn't see the ball was short. Keyshawn did. Watch where he points. No problem. No knee.
And Nick Lowry now to try and add the extra point. And he does. And the Jets, scoring a touchdown on their opening drive for the first time this year, have moved on top of Buffalo by a score of 7-0. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
Brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. By AT&T, your true choice. By Liberty Mutual Insurance, helping people live safer, more secure lives. That's the freedom of liberty. And by Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Welcome back to the Meadowlands. The New York Jets in front early on the Buffalo Bills. Here is that 74-yard, 11-play scoring drive. Keyshawn Johnson with 40 yards, Adrian Morrell with 34. And Nick Lowry is going to kick off. This one is high, but will be taken about the 7-yard line. Could be a good return for Buffalo. Now across the 20, 25, 30. Breaks clean and then is tripped up as Eric Moles is brought down at about the 40-yard line by Fred Baxter. A 33-yard kickoff return for Buffalo. Field position, their own 40-yard line. Back in a moment.
It can't be. I got to see.
Welcome back to the Meadowlands. First quarter, the Jets have taken a 7-0 lead on Buffalo. I'm Len Berman, and earlier this week, Keyshawn Johnson told me, I guarantee you the Jets will not go 0-16. It's the first Jet of any kind to make any kind of guarantee since Joe Namath in Super Bowl III. And Charlie, as the Jets took the field, he told me, I am going to have a big game today. So far, he's right. Charlie, Randy?
Oh, I'm glad that you had the right quote, because I just said he guaranteed a win today. At least he got him off to a good start. Here's Thurman Thomas as he carries. Mike Chilinsky, the defensive right end, makes the tackle for the New York Jets. 44-yard line, Buffalo in their own territory.
You know, Charlie, so far the big deal here is really attitude. The Jets are playing like a team that wants to come out here, wants to get that first win, and the Bills so far, at least defensively, were very soft against Frank Reich and the Jets offense, and offensively the Bills didn't get a chance to do much.
Second down and 6. Offsides. This is a free play. Here is Kelly rolling, and he's pulled down after a couple of yards, but he was pretty agile. Everybody's been talking about how slow that he is, but I tell you, you get in pursuit of him, and old Jim takes off, doesn't he?
Hey, I don't matter how old you are, you still get scared.
That's right.
He's got Mo Lewis, who jumped off sides there, coming in his face, who tackles Thurman Thomas.
Now, that's slow motion, and he looks good.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you got Hamilton coming from the inside linebacker to get him. Jim's not a big threat. In fact, if he had to do it again, he might slide.
You know, I always forget when I haven't seen him in a while.
Offsides, defense number 57, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's Walt Coleman, the referee. Jim Kelly is a big quarterback. He's a big guy.
Well, he really is. And, you know, he can thank God he is a big quarterback, because he hasn't been getting very good protection. He's been taking some shots. Something that kind of got lost in the shuffle last week was the beating he took.
Second down, 1. Thurman Thomas has the first down. And again, he's just a step away from breaking a long gainer. Mo Lewis with the tackle. First down, Buffalo in Jet territory.
You remember, Thurman came into this game sort of in search of the club record for rushing yards held by O.J. Simpson, and he gets this kind of blocking up front. And they are blocking some holes. We've already told you this group can block for the run. They are big, they are physical, and they love coming straight off and smashing you in the face.
First down, 45-yard line of New York. Play action fake. Here comes pressure, gets it off, and it is incomplete. Pressure coming from Bobby Hamilton. Lonnie Johnson, the tight end, the intended receiver.
Jim Kelly, do you see the smile on his face? It's like, well, you know, some things change and some things stay the same. And right now what's staying the same is he's got to make a fake, turn around, and get rid of the football, because he's got Hamilton bearing down on him, who just smacked him on that one. You know, and Jim Vecchiarelli there, the defensive coordinator, knows that. And I've been telling you, they are going to do everything they can to rush the passer on those passing downs, because they know they can get shots on Kelly.
Second down and 10 at the Jet 45. New York leading at 7-0 with 3:40 left to go in the first. And here's Thurman Thomas on the draw, and he's going to pick up 4 yards to the 41. It'll be third down and still 6 yards to go as Mo Lewis makes the stop for the New York Jets.
Well, yeah, Marvin Washington's 2-3 yards in the backfield there, and should have wrapped up Thurman Thomas. So, I mean, that was good defensive execution by the Jets, and just more want to by Thurman Thomas. He just decided he was not going to be tackled. It was not going to be a negative play. It was going to be a positive play.
Third down and 6. Buffalo has yet to convert a third down opportunity in the ballgame. Kelly from the shotgun. And he's got it. Lonnie Johnson, the tight end, has the first down. Victor Green rides him out of bounds after a gain of 11 yards.
Well, you saw Jim Kelly audibilizing. He knew the blitz was coming. The key with the blitz, you're going to get the heat, throw it over the blitz, And look what Johnson did. Let's see how quick he turned that head around to Jim Kelly. He let the quarterback know he was ready for the ball, and that ball was coming.
1st and 10 Buffalo. 2.5 minutes left in the opening period. And here's a reverse going the other way. Here's Eric Mose. Mose, a wide receiver and kickoff return man, is finally taken out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So it'll go for about 4, maybe 4.5. It's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, that's a positive play. Most coaches would say, well, gee, you know, we want a big play on a reverse. But, you know, Marv Levy's from the same sort of school that my old head coach, Bill Walsh, was from. If you're going to do something different offensively like a reverse, anything 4 yards or more is a real plus play because that affects the defense down the road.
2nd down and 5, 25-yard line. Current drive. You use up 3 minutes, 6 plays, and you see the yardage. Kelly steps forward. Now he throws, and it's not good defensive play. And it's Ray Mickens, and he took a beating by everybody, including the opposing team and the media. Last week did not have a good ball game, but he makes a good play here.
Well, he's got 10 other guys on the field,
look at
though.
this. Cincinnati up 2 touchdowns, 14-0 on San Francisco. Whoa.
You know, Mickens has got 10 guys, though, Charlie, that are all excited about the way this guy's playing. There's another Texas A&M guy like Jones. He is also at safety, and they really bolster this guy. They say he's very confident. We try to bolster him. He says he doesn't really act like he needs it, though. He's like, oh, no big deal. I know everybody gets beat.
3rd down and 5. Kelly has pressure, and he is sacked at the 30-yard line. Mark Gunn gets him. That is his first sack. And that is the 19th time in 4+ ball games that Jim Kelly has been sacked.
Hey, what a difference, though, watching this Bills offense now. When he had that big offensive line with Wolford and Howard Ballard, he ran that K-gun. He seemed to be able to stand back there forever and throw the ball. This is not a case of mobility. This is not a case of a sore arm. This is a case of bad blocking.
48-yard field goal attempt by Christie, and it is good. And that is his longest this year. Buffalo is on the board. Jets lead it 7-3, 1:40 time remaining, first quarter. Left in the first quarter, this is Charlie Jones along with Randy Cross, and the score, the New York Jets 7, the Buffalo Bills 3. Steve Christie will be kicking off to either Ronald Moore, number 33, or Henry Bailey, number 85. Christie, who just booted a 48-yard field goal, kicks it away. It's short, taken at the 10-yard line by Ronald Moore. Moore runs to the right and never gets there. Does not get to the corner. Maybe has 1 yard on the return to the 11-yard line. We come back. The Jets will have the ball. 7-3 New York.
Now, in his final race, he looks to accomplish an unprecedented feat, repeating in the Classic. The Breeders' Cup next Saturday on NBC.
Welcome back to the Meadowlands. The New York Jets have a first down at their own 11-yard line coming out. Frank Reich, in the opening drive, completed 3 of 4 for 40 yards in all to Keyshawn Johnson.
I'm interested to see what kind of attitude this Buffalo defense comes in this second drive.
Keyshawn is in the slot on the near side off the line of scrimmage, so he cannot be bumped. And they give to Adrian Morrell, who goes to the right side. And is going to pick up 2, maybe 3 on the play as we go to Greg Gumbel for an update on the Cincinnati 49ers game.
All right, Charlie, turnovers are costing the Niners today. Twice they've turned it over. Twice the Bengals have converted to touchdowns. Jeff Blake here, 15 yards for Garrison Hurst. A 14-0 Cincinnati lead on the San Francisco 49ers in the first quarter, Charlie.
And, Greg, that could be a huge, I mean, huge upset.
Well, we've seen a lot of those this weekend now, haven't we?
We really have. We saw a lot of college race yesterday. Play action fake. Complete, a great reception. That is Kyle Brady. That is only his 3rd catch of the year. And to tell you the truth, Wright never wants to go to him because he hasn't been catching the ball. Tough catch, good play.
Charlie, they might stop the game and award him a ball on this one. I mean, this isn't an easy catch. You know, Frank Reich, he goes check, check, He throws it low and away, goes down for it. The only other catch he had, he fumbled the ball and lost it. So, I mean, that's the weapon this offense needs. They need a tight end that can catch.
Gain of 12, first down, 26-yard line, and here's Morrell again. He's going to be rushing close at this point in the first quarter, 38 yards, as we'll take a countdown to the end of the period. The New York Jets scoring on their opening drive. The Buffalo Bills counterpunch with a field goal. It is 7-3 New York after one. Back in a moment. Indianapolis 27-9, the Colts' second defeat. And as you look here in the AFC East, these are the updated standings. And with a victory by Buffalo, they will move back into a tie with Indianapolis in the AFC East. Right now, they've got their hands full with the New York Jets. Reich sets, little swing, right side, nice grab. Reaching out for his Adrian Morrell, pulling it in with his right hand. That is his 11th reception on the year. And David White, the linebacker, is the man that he beat.
You know, so far, Ron Earhart's just calling a very sensible game plan. Not doing anything too crazy. He's trying to get the running game going. Took the one shot down the field that Keyshawn Johnson turned into a touchdown when Reich threw that ball a little bit short.
Third down and 7. 5 wide receivers. And here comes pressure, gets it up, and it is caught in traffic and then dropped. Let's see if they rule it a catch. It was Tyrone Davis, the tight end, and they have put in a package just for him in college. He was a wide receiver at Virginia and a very good one.
I think they're going to get Matt Stevens, the rookie safety, for a little pass interference. He was all over him. I mean, talk about an up.
Face mask, 5-yard on the defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, what a great change for Ron Earhart in this offense. Really already 2 passes to the tight end. One, a real good catch right here. I mean, that was definitely a face mask. He was pulled down by the face mask. Good look at Stevens there. He's got that hair Dana going, a little ponytail coming out the back.
First down, Jets at their own 40-yard line. Keyshawn starts in motion, and the give is to Richie Anderson. Anderson, the fullback. This is his second carry of the ball game. He's out to the 47-yard line. It'll be second down and 3.
If I'm on the Buffalo sideline defensively, you know, I've got to get the voltage regulator out here and shock a few people and get them going, because right now this Jets offense is running right straight at Wade Phillips there, the defensive coordinator for Buffalo's defense. I mean, that means going right at Chris Spielman inside, going right at Bruce Smith when they move him around, and right at a great big nose tackle in Ted Washington.
Second down and 3. Keyshawn Johnson in motion. And they run away from the motion. Adrian Morrell almost breaks it again. He has been a step away from a huge gain a couple of times in the ballgame.
I mean, this is string it, wait for your backside blocking, and they're getting backside blocking. O'Dwyer gets a pancake there about the 3 yards downfield. That was great offensive blocking by the Jets line, and the Bills have a guy down. It's Phil Hansen, the defensive end.
Hansen, the left end on the 34 defense, the 3-4. Adrian Morrell, who you're seeing at number 29, 9 carries now. He's rushed for 51 yards. And as Hansen is being helped to his feet, we've got an injury timeout. Clock is stopped with 13:21. Time remaining in the first half, and the Jets are up 7-3 over the Bills.
Their full line of trucks, Toyota trucks, always come through. By Allstate, for home, auto, life, and business insurance, being in good hands is the only place to be. And by new Speed Stick Gel, it's unbeatable gel protection just for guys.
First down, New York Jets in Buffalo territory. Adrian Morrell, a start, a stop, a start, and a flag. Oh, as the flag comes in. As they sort it out, we might point out that for Frank Reich, most of you will recall that for 9 years, he was Jim Kelly's backup. And he then went to Carolina last year and started once against the Buffalo Bills. with Carolina. They lost big. This would be a penalty going against New York. So this is his second start in his career.
Repeat, first down.
Second start in his career against the Buffalo Bills. It is the 13th career start in 11.5 years in the National Football League.
And the old Frank Reich factor as far as getting into the opponent's head, in this case the Bills, is highly overrated. Remember, it's a totally different offense that Buffalo now runs. And the offense right now the Jets are running, they are running. It is very balanced, and the important part of those rushing yards.
It is first down and 20. And again, it's Morrell who gets the call. He's going to pick up 4 yards on the play. As we go to New York, Greg Gumbel with an update.
All right, Charlie, in Denver, Mile High Stadium is a nightmare for visitors, and so is Terrell Davis. As we speak, he is the NFL's leading rusher, helped in no small part by this 71-yard touchdown jaunt. Denver leading Baltimore 14-3. That's a second quarter score, Charlie.
Thank you, Greg. It's true. Denver's for real.
Yeah, they are, and mainly because of Terrell Davis and a very underrated defense.
Second and 16, Reich to throw. On target again, Keyshawn Johnson, 30-yard line, first down. 17 yards on the play. Right now has hit 7 of 8 passes for 75 yards.
And you know what he's doing, really, Charlie? He's getting good protection, but they have softened up the defense. You've got Buffalo playing zone defense instead of your usual man-to-man. They play a lot of man, and they blitz 5, 6, 7 guys at a quarterback. Right now, they're bringing 4 at the quarterback. They're playing zone, and Keyshawn broke that route off perfectly.
First down, 30-yard line. He's throwing this one away. Reich was out of time, and he gets waylaid just after he releases the ball. So it'll be second and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And right there, you saw a little bit of Wade Phillips' coaching philosophy. You know, the last play was a little bit of zone and 4 guys rushing. That's not what Wade Phillips likes to do with this defense. He likes to bring at least 2 linebackers on every single play, if not adding a little safety in there into the mix as they go along. That whole philosophy, you know, Buddy Ryan did it for years. Jeff Fisher does it in Houston. Bill Cowher does it down over in Pittsburgh. You don't have enough time to get to that man coverage down the field.
Second down and 10. Keyshawn motion to give his to the fullback, Richie Anderson. Not a lot there, maybe 4 yards. Going to be in the neighborhood of 3rd down and 6.
You know, but even on the run block here, Charlie, what's important is the Jet blockers are sticking on the Bills guys long enough to get positive yards out of plays that are stopped at the line of scrimmage. You know, your running back doesn't get a chance to bounce around that long until a linebacker like Chris Spielman finally gets a shot on you, unless your linemen are sticking on him.
Fun yesterday when we talked with Chris. You know, most ball players will say, you know, my kid's not going to know. He's not going to play football. He said, Noah, his son, what is he, about 6 months old? Yeah. He's going to play.
I feel sorry for Noah already.
I think he already has him doing leg lift. And far side to the fullback, Richie Anderson. And Frank Reich is really hot today. Marlo Perry was chasing him, a gain of 8 yards on the play, and another first down now inside the red zone.
In the last 3 plays, Richie Kotite's seen the Buffalo defense play zone twice, man once with a big blitz. The big blitz and the man resulted in a knock on Reich, and the 2 zones ended up on a big play to Keyshawn and another play to Anderson. You better start getting to Reich or you'll get a lot of confidence, and that could hurt you down the road if you're the Bills.
This is the 19th time this year that the Jets have been inside the red zone, and suddenly they're back out as Morrell is dropped by Chris Spielman, who we were talking about, for the loss.
Now, and this guy just playing, he is a football player. He also happens to be one sick puppy. This guy is a hardcore all the way. You know, he's got this very angelic, you know, photo they hand out by the Buffalo Bills. I mean, he looks like he's an absolute little choir boy. This guy is as far as you can get from a choir boy. He wears a shirt that's been like laundered twice in his life. He's got a tie that's been tied for 5 years. He's never untied it.
He just hangs it over his head.
He's a football guy. He can care less about anything else.
Second down and 16. Reich underneath the coverage. It is incomplete. He's going to Wayne Chrebet. Chrebet has been shut out thus far in the ballgame. The Bills told us that they could well double Corbett. They may be doing that. I think they'll change it. They'll double Keyshawn, and then they'll leave Corbett with single coverage.
Well, you know, I don't know about doubling Corbett. Corbett's a guy that has done an awful lot in the last year or so. But if he's going to beat you, you have got to make him beat you one-on-one. Keyshawn Johnson is the guy you worry about down the field. New York has already proven that. So, you know, if Ron Earhart can look up and say, oh, they're going to double Corbett and leave Keyshawn one-on-one, they might score 60 points if they go one-on-one against Keyshawn Long.
3rd down and 16. The Jets have already used more than 7 minutes in this drive. Going to Keyshawn, and it is incomplete. His arms were pulled away. Good defensive play.
Well, Jeff Burris is right there as the ball gets there. And the second the ball gets there, the thing you got to watch for is watch the extra set of hands come around Keyshawn. See, he gets between the quarterback and the defender, and then those hands wrap around and pull the ball out. That ball is put right on the money. It's right where Keyshawn wants it, and now it's right where Burris wants it. It's on the ground.
Now a 43-yard field goal attempt by Nick Lowery. He has 374 successful field goals. Will this one come back for him? Off of the upright? No. It does not carry him through. It is no good from 43 yards away. So Nick Lowery misses. The score remains Jets 7, Bills 3.
The comfort zone is, hey, I can rely on the wind. I put it out there. I let the wind blow it back. Well, folks, this might be a Meadowlands record for lack of wind, because that one never comes back, hits the upright, and oh, Rich.
So Buffalo takes over at the spot of the kick, which was their own 33-yard line. They trail the Jets 7-3. Kelly opens with a play-action fake. Good protection, goes downfield. And the pass is complete for a first down to Lonnie Johnson, his tight end. A gain of 12 yards. Ray Mickens is the man who brings him down. He had the coverage on the play. First down.
Charlie, Jim Kelly made the point to us yesterday when he said, hey, look, all week long I've been in my guy's face. When he says my guys, he doesn't mean Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith. He means his offensive line. He's been in those guys' face all week long, telling them, you got to keep people off me. You got to block for the run. If you do that, I'll do my part.
Well, thus far, they have given him time to throw. Thurman Thomas around the left side into Jet territory and out at the New York 48-yard line.
Well, they've given Jim Kelly time to throw, and they've given Thurman Thomas somewhere to go with the run, because this is a nicely executed running play. Watch, Ostrowski and Parker are coming from the backside. This is the counter tray, and this is a big counter tray. When you're talking about pulling 320-pound offensive linemen, they get out there well. And how does Thurman Thomas finish it off? He finishes it off with a shoulder into a defender. So, I mean, all the way around, that's a plus.
A gain of 7 on the play. Thomas now has rushed for 31 yards. He needs to pick up 63 yards this afternoon to break O.J. Simpson's career rushing record for the Buffalo Bills. And this is just straight ahead for the first down. Thurman Thomas again. Marvin Washington with the tackle. Thurman Thomas is one of only 3 running backs who have rushed for 1,000 yards or more 7 consecutive seasons. He's in good company. Eric Dickinson and Barry Sanders.
Yeah, an interesting stat on Thurman, though, is as he's gone along in his career, his rushing average has gone down and down. It used to be in the low 4s at the beginning. Then it went up to the high 4s towards the late 90s and early 90s. But since about 92 or so, it's been around 3.6, 3.7.
He's been replaced by Derek Holmes. Play action fake. Wide open. It's Lonnie Johnson. Turns downfield. Oh, somebody blew an assignment. There wasn't a Jet within 10 yards. 29 yards on the play. Rick Hamilton finally brings him down.
Well, does anyone have any questions on how important a tight end is to a quarterback that's struggling a little bit? Johnson is not the primary receiver. He's dragging across this entire defense late. And I don't care how bad Jim Kelly may have been playing the last few weeks. You leave a guy out there with nobody around him for about 20 yards, he's going to find him.
Oh, yeah. First down at the Jet 15-yard line. Here's the draw to Derek Holmes. Spin move. He's down again. He's going to end up losing about 5 yards on the play. You can see from the overhead shot, part of this is artificial surface. Part of it is dried out. Part of it is still damp from all the rains that we had. And so it's kind of, it could be in some areas, a little slip and slide.
I don't know, Charlie. I just think his head was a little too fast for his feet.
He was in a hurry to get there.
Well, you know, he saw what was happening. He got that draw that late with all those people around him. He started spinning and moving, and he outspun his feet.
3 wide receivers for Buffalo. Holmes is the remaining back. Kelly has completed 5 of 7 for 56 yards. Sets pump fake, goes into the end zone, overthrows everybody. There's a flag around the 5-yard line.
Mickens is going to get hit, I think, for a little late bump down the field, illegal contact.
That may have been an uncatchable ball, though.
Well, it's uncatchable because the guy couldn't get there is why it was uncatchable. Illegal use of hands.
Against the Jets.
Remember, Jim Kelly's throwing that ball not to the receiver, but where he thinks the receiver's going to be. The official has to say, would he get there without the bump?
Illegal contact on the defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty. First down.
See, the group to look at here, watching the lower part of the screen, this matchup here. It's going to go down about 20 yards, then watch the stop, then watch the go. There's the stop, there's the go, there's the illegal contact. That's a very liberal 5 yards down the field Mr. Mickens tried to get away with, and he didn't.
After the penalty, first down at the 14-yard line. Derek Holmes again stops, cuts back inside the 15 to the 14, which is the line of scrimmage. So he's not going to pick up any yardage on the play. Marvin Washington with the stop.
Yeah, Holmes is running awfully cute for kind of a fullback type body. He doesn't have quite the feet that Thurman Thomas has, who's now back into the game. He's got the fullback mind, or the fullback feet, and the halfback's head. And the halfback head's getting his feet in a lot of trouble.
So far this season, Holmes has rushed for about 200 yards. Meanwhile, Thurman Thomas is over the 400-yard mark. 2nd and 10. A fade into the corner, a timing. Did he have it inbounds? They're going to discuss it and say no. He was out.
No, contact or no contact. That's the key in that play. When he catches the ball in the air, was there contact made that it wouldn't let him come down? He's working against Glenn.
Quinn Early.
Watch Early go up. Wonderful catch.
Right.
Let's watch here. We're going to see right here. Watch the feet.
First one's out. First one
I think the back of the first foot was out.
That's the heel. You're right. So it's 3rd down and 10.
That was about as good of a no catch as you're going to see, though.
Oh, that's true. And Kelly wants a timeout. That stops the clock. 5:21 left. 2nd quarter. Jets are up by 4. We'll be back in a moment. 5:21. That is the time remaining in the 2nd quarter. A very quick ball game. The Jets have had the ball 2 times. The Bills have had it 3 times. And this is what Buffalo has done this year. In the red zone inside the 20, they are tied for 29. So tied for last.
And that's at scoring touchdowns, not scoring. Buffalo's the best in the league in defense, but they're the worst on offense so far this year.
Only 26% of the time have they scored a touchdown. Incomplete. Eric Moles, the intended receiver, and remember that was 3rd down and 10, and Steve Christie, who has already hit from 48 yards, his longest this year, will come in with a field goal attempt.
And that percentage just dropped off that graphic you just saw. We're going to have to update it because now they are in
30th place.
It's going to be 13 of 16 of scores, but only 4 touchdowns.
32-yard field goal attempt. And it is good from 32 yards away. So the Bills climb within 1 of the Jets. 7-6. Back with a kickoff in a moment. And Randy Cross. The Jets' margin now has been cut to 1. 7-6 over Buffalo. Steve Christie with a pair of field goals is kicking off. And is taken by Henry Bailey on the return. Bailey to the 20 and slides across. He's going to be down around the 23 of the 24-yard line on the return. 19 yards on the return. Here's a program note. Next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern, it's the Breeders' Cup live from Toronto, Canada. Watch as the incomparable Cigar looks to leave his mark in horse racing history by winning an unprecedented second straight Breeders' Cup Classic. Final race of his storied career. The richest day in racing, the 13th running of the Breeders' Cup next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 p.m. here on NBC.
Charlie, you acted so shocked when you heard that 14-0 Cincinnati-San Francisco score.
Yes.
Does the fact that it's 21-0?
I'm more
Jeff
shocked.
Blake now has 3 touchdown passes. That shock you a little bit more?
Woo! I'm going to cardiac arrest.
Yeah, so related to Barlow and that whole organization.
Meanwhile, there's Wayne Chrebet with his reception out at the 30-yard line. What a year he is having. He is #1 in the NFL on third down receptions for first down with 18. He has 41 receptions on the year. He had 12 receptions in last week's ball game, and he is just having an outstanding year.
And, you know, there's only one guy, I think, in the entire world that thinks better things are yet to come for Wayne Chrebet, and that's Wayne Chrebet. He's convinced he will have a long, illustrious career.
And I think that he well may. I have a feeling here's Richie Anderson, the fullback carrying, and Phil Hansen, who was out for a while, is now back in. You know, but Chrebet may be one of those players who every year just barely makes the team and ends up being a star year after year after year.
Well, you know, last year, a big shock. A free agent type guy. I mean, a guy comes from Hofstra, makes your football team. He's used to watching you through the fence, and he makes your football team and leads you in receiving. Now, you get all these free agents like Graham. You have #1 pick in Keyshawn. You bring in Van Dyke. You bring in Webster Slaughter. It's obvious you don't want this guy.
Third down and 1. Oh, this will be close. This will be, may not make it.
No, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. He came up short. That is why you don't want to go sideways on that defense. You got to go at him, Charlie.
So it's going to be 4th down, and Brian Hansen will be kicking.
Keyshawn Johnson was in motion. That's where they're attacking, getting a crack back there on Stevens. But you can't allow for the other 3 guys, Burris and Spielman, and actually it was Washington coming all the way around from the nose guard was out there.
Well, Brian Hansen kicking to Jeff Burris. Burris will pull it in at the 17-yard line. Now to the 20, has an opening, 25, another opening, 30. Good return underway, and then is trapped and brought down about the 47-yard line. And it was Reggie Cobb who saved the touchdown. Time and time again, both the Jets and the Bills have saved touchdowns. 29 yards on the return after a 49-yard catch.
This is part setup, part blocking, a lot of instincts because it's set up to go outside. Burris sees a hole and just goes for it. And not for not that block. That tackle right there, Burris goes a lot farther. Maybe goes all the way because he was getting down to the fact where it was just going to be him and Hansen, the kicker.
47-yard line, Bills in their own territory. They trail 7-6. They're down by 1. You're watching the NFL on NBC. Kelly on target. 3-step drop. And he comes back, and it's Andre Reed. I believe that is Reed's first reception of the ball game, his 30th on the year.
Jim Kelly being very poised right now. He's getting a little better protection than what he started with. Very quick passes, and right now very accurate passes. Right into the middle of a zone defense. He put it right there before the safety and after the cornerback.
Change will come out for a measure. Remember a while back we were talking about Chris Spielman and his son Noah. He wanted him to be a football player. Now we were talking with Jim Kelly. He has a young daughter. He said that's the reason, by the way, as a sidebar, the Bills had to sit on their plane for 3 hours yesterday before they could take off because of the weather here in New York. And Kelly, he said he went to sleep. You got a young daughter, so you sleep anytime you want to.
Yeah.
He said, but I'm glad. He said, I come home at night. It doesn't make any difference on Sunday. We win, we lose. She doesn't care. She just gives me a big hug and loves me.
Might be the only person in Buffalo that hasn't given him a bad time about the start he's been out there.
You may be right. And here is Thurman Thomas. He picks up the first down. Victor Green with the stop.
Charlie, there are no bigger fans of the Buffalo offense right now than the Buffalo defense. The Buffalo defense has been doing their part the last couple of possessions. They've stuffed them down. They've watched their offense move the ball effectively. They would love to take a few pom-poms right there. You see Thurman Thomas, 41. That leaves them 21 short of that record held by O.J. Simpson. Career rushing yards for the Bills.
Little play action fake. Now going deep down the sideline, and it is no good. Quinn Early. But he was being pinned against the sideline by Ray Mickens. I tell you, Mickens has made a couple of really good plays in the ballgame.
He made a couple of great plays last week where he just got beat by a superior arm from the quarterback. And on that play, Jim Kelly drops this ball almost in perfectly. It's very good coverage. Watch how this ball drops in. Mickens can't get to it. The only one that can really get to it right there is Early. And even if he'd have caught it, he'd have been out of bounds.
And Mickens kind of got his hand in the mix.
Not bad for a quarterback with a sore arm, huh, Charlie?
No, that's right. 2nd and 10. Let's try the other side. And this one is incomplete. Again, outstanding coverage, this time by Carl Greenwood. Eric Moles, the intended receiver. So it'll be 3rd down and 10.
In that case right there, though, Moles had a little bit more leg than Jim Kelly had arm. Jim Kelly floated that one out there, and Moles just kept on jetting right along. I love it. Moles
got a little face.
Don't look. He got his hands over his interface mask. He was covering his eyes.
Bills have converted only 1 of 4 third down opportunities, and this was a long one, 3rd and 10. Over the middle, and incomplete. Thurman Thomas had his hands on it for a moment. I think came up and hit his face mask, and it was incomplete. Lonnie Young had the coverage.
Just perfect execution by the Buffalo's offense. At least 10 of the guys in the Buffalo offense. That's called worrying about where you're going to run with it before you catch it. Jim Kelly knows he's done his part. That's about how close they've been this year.
Oh, Chris Moore is going to kick it away. Wayne Corbett is the return man. Little pooch kick goes for the corner, doesn't get the corner, taken at the 11-yard line by Corbett. A nice quick return and showing what he likes to call his swervability as we now have the 2-minute warning. 1:57 left. First half, Jets by 1. Gibbs and Chris Collinsworth scores and highlights. Jim Gray has an interview with Jerry Rice. Meanwhile, we have 1:57 left to go in the first half, and the Jets at their own 21-yard line. The nose tackle for the Bills, Ted Washington, he is a good one. And the defensive right end, number 78, Bruce Smith, is a great one. 7 sacks. We haven't heard that much from them.
Well, Jumbo Elliott and Roger Duffy making his start at a 3rd different position this year, starting at center, is doing a great job.
Shotgun, it is dropped. Tyrone Davis. Again, the tight end who was a wide receiver at Virginia, and this is part of his package that they put in. Now, he is 0 for 2 as a receiver.
Well, they bulked his package up, Charlie. You know, this is the guy that played wide receiver, and they've got him now listed at about 260 pounds. So, I mean, that is
big for a wide receiver.
But that's most guys' dreams. You know, you're 22, 23 years old, and they tell you you're not going to eat enough burgers, not drinking enough beer. You got to bulk up with a few milkshakes.
We can do that, couldn't we?
In a heartbeat.
4 wide receivers. Here's the draw, Richie Anderson. And now the Jets in the hurry-up 2-minute offense. Keyshawn is wide to the near side. Corbett will be in the slot far side. We have a timeout called, and
Marv Levy is livid.
30 seconds.
He is screaming.
Timeout.
They're going to charge that to the Buffalo Bills. That is their 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining. The Jets have 3. Back in a moment. Shotgun. Keyshawn has it. At the 37-yard line, first down. Remember, that was 3rd down and 8. He picks up 14.
Oh, they brought a zone blitz there, and Keyshawn Johnson broke off his route, went inside on that zone.
First down, Jets 37. This one is tipped. It's going to be intercepted. Matt Stevens has his first interception. Tyrone Davis, the intended receiver, he is 0 for 3.
Well, you know, he made that one circus catch where Stevens got the face mask. And since then, I think what he's doing right here is he's, you know, he talked about that package they put in for him. I think his package just got a lot smaller. Couple of drops right there, and that drop there bounced off his shoulder pad and turned into a pick for Stevens.
And we have 1:17, a lot of time remaining in the first half. But again, Buffalo has only 1 timeout remaining. They start from their own 48-yard line, first down.
Well, a minute and 17 seconds. If Jim Kelly is in his patented K-gun with 3 wide receivers in Thurman, this is how he got famous at quarterback for the Bills in these situations.
And they're still running this offense in the 2-minute situation. Now with the incomplete pass, of course, that will stop the clock.
Did they put like a 3rd point on the ball I didn't catch? I mean, these things are bouncing off
They
guys.
really are.
You know, Thurman Thomas on the last Bills possession bounced one off him. Davis had bounced one off him. I mean, Jim Schaffman, the quarterback coach right there, has got to be thinking the same thing. I mean, what does Jim got to do? He's put the ball in the guy's hands twice in a row.
He is incomplete on his last 4 attempts. And now he is simply, he's grounding it, but I don't think they're going to call that.
No, it was right. It wasn't grounding at all. Lonnie Johnson was right there in front of him. That's not grounding.
He was grounding. No.
He was getting rid of it.
He's getting rid of it. He was avoiding the loss.
Getting rid of it, Charlie, is legal. Grounding it is illegal.
All right, he's avoiding the loss. Okay.
Well, this is just good coverage downfield by the Jets. He's got nowhere to go. He thinks about running, and then he says, well, I don't think so. Gets grabbed around the foot by Matt Brock.
Suddenly, it's 3rd and 10. Little pump fake. He throws, and this is going to be a first down. Quinn Early pulls it in. He goes to the 40-yard line of the Jets. 12 yards on the play, and the first down.
A minute and 2 seconds left because Quinn Early got out of bounds on that play and got the first down. And that's Jim Kelly showing just enough mobility that Jim Vaccarelli, the defensive coordinator, has got to start worrying about him and keeping him in the pocket.
Shotgun with Thurman Thomas with him, and he hands off to Thurman. And he is down at the 40-yard line. No gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Kelly loves this offense because he's in control. He really likes that feeling.
Well, he loves the offense. The problem with the offense is the inexperienced linemen in front of him don't know it as well as Jim Kelly.
Kelly again buys some time. Oh, look at this. Wide open. Inside the 20. Kind of a semi-slide to the 18. 22 yards for Jim Kelly.
Well, Jim Kelly got in his lineman's face this week. He said, you guys got to help me out. You got to make things happen. And right now, he moved on the last play. He got him the first down with a pass. And this is Jim Kelly making something happen. This is not what Marv Levy would like to see him do. Get out and almost get hit. But this is what Jim Kelly's got to do right now. He's got to be the spark. He's got to be the motivator. He's got to be the difference.
And Buffalo takes a timeout. That is their last timeout. The Jets, of course, still have their 3 remaining. We have 31 seconds left. And the Bills, once again, are in the red zone. And this year, again, only 4 touchdowns inside the red zone.
Well, the most important thing this late in a half, with 31 seconds to go, you would love a touchdown. You will take a field goal. You absolutely can't have a turnover.
The Bills trail by 1, 7-6. It is going to be incomplete, throwing short to Quinn Early. But it does stop the clock.
You know, Jim Kelly, look at the look on his face. That is a planned play. Much like the underthrow with Keyshawn Johnson from Frank Reich for the touchdown. Look at Quinn Early working on Glenn. He sees the ball's underthrown. He pushes off, and he drops the ball. I swear, we haven't seen it. Jim, you're throwing a ball with 3 heads on it. He and Frank got balls in the bag somewhere. There are 3 points on this thing because the guys can't catch it.
Kelly has completed only 7 of 17. 2nd and 10. This one is kicked in the air, and it is incomplete. Whoa, that can become dangerous.
Well, John Fina almost had a little fantasy camp working from his left tackle position. He was trying to make that catch. Actually works out better for Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills that he didn't, because the incompletion stops the clock. The catch would have kept it going.
Matt Brock is a man who got a hand on it. He is the only defensive lineman for the Jets that started every game this season.
Remember, 21 seconds left, guys. If he catches that ball, they don't have any timeouts left. The clock runs out.
3rd down and 10. You figure he will throw one more time, but he'll throw into the end zone. 3 wide receivers. Has time, throws to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Ray Mickens breaks it up. Quinn Hurley, the intended receiver. Mickens again makes a good play.
Good defensive play, but you know, the Buffalo Bill receivers have dropped some passes, and they've seen some passes get tipped and just sort of go by them. This might go in the latter category. Watch the end of this play. Early stops, gathers himself, and the ball goes right through his hands. You saw the graphic earlier. 7 of 18 now for Kelly. He's had at least 5 drops.
Here's Christie. He is 2 for 2 in the game, and this one is no good. Hitting for 48 and 32, but this time missing from 36 yards away. And he misses with 10 seconds left, and that means that the Jets will take over at the spot of the kick.
Almost as bad as a turnover in the red zone is to do all this work and have your kicker miss the field goal. That is absolutely unexcusable. You just don't do that. It's almost like throwing an interception in the end zone right now for the Buffalo Bills to get the ball with 1 minute and 12 or so left on the clock, drive it down the field, and come away with no points. A big plus, a win-win situation for the Jets.
The Bills out of timeout. Frank Reich will just kneel down. They'll take the count to make it official. And so the New York Jets leading at halftime over the Buffalo Bills by a score of 7-6. We've seen upsets yesterday. We've seen some today. Could this be one? Be with us for the second half, as right now we're going to go to our NBC studio, and here's Greg Gumbel. Greg? Bailey. And Bailey out across the 20-yard line, and then the ball comes loose, but they are going to say that the play was down. Down by contact at the 20-yard line. Let's go down to Len Berman. Len?
All right, Charlie, I talked to Rich Kotite and his offensive coordinator, Ron Earhart. They both said the exact same thing to me. We have to catch the ball, referring to Tyrone Davis's drop toward the end of the first half. And Wade Phillips, the Buffalo defensive coordinator, said the only pass that the Jets seem to have is the slant pass, and we have to take that slant pass away. So those are the thoughts from the coaches, guys.
Good. Thank you, Len.
And those are the smart passes. You know, Len's absolutely right coming from the coaches. I mean, if you're the Jets, you're not trying to go down the field against this defense much. They're trying to guess. Right now, they've got Wade Phillips and Buffalo's defense guessing.
The Jets starting from their own 20-yard line. Adrian Morrell on the right side. He's going to pick up a couple of yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. The weather has been rather interesting today because from the reports yesterday that the temperature was going to drop. We expected it, you know, to be in the low 50s, maybe the upper 40s by now. And by now we would have some rain, but we had some dark clouds, but they've blown away, as you can see. And this turned out to be a very lovely afternoon.
Compared to yesterday, this is not weather.
Oh, this is a dream after yesterday.
They had some Wrath of God stuff here in this area.
Oh, it really rained. 3-step drop, fires, and juggle. No. Keyshawn almost pulled it off. He came so close, you'll be able to see. It looked as he had it for a moment on the second tip.
Now watch the defenders on this play, though. Buffalo has said we got to take away the slant. The way you take away the slant isn't so much with the defensive back Burris you saw was off. It's with the linebackers getting into the passing lanes, and that time Spielman, the linebacker, was in the passing lane, so Wright couldn't get the ball exactly where he wanted to Johnson.
Just 4 of 7 on 3rd down opportunities. 5 wide receivers. You have a feeling he's going to look for Keyshawn. Over the middle, no, he goes to his fullback, Richie Anderson, and he is not going to pick up the first down. He is going to be stopped a yard shy, and that means that the Jets will kick it away. Kurt Schultz made the play for the Buffalo Bills. He simply would not let Anderson get an extra step.
Well, what he did was he stood him up and wouldn't let him go downfield, but the guy that really finished him off was Emmanuel Martin coming from the safety position. He put the splatter on him.
Brian Hansen will be kicking to number 22, Jeff Burris. And it does just, no, it doesn't quite turn over. Taken at the 30-yard line. Has 5, 10, 11 yards on the return to just across the 40. 41 yards on the kick, an 11-yard counterpunch. And the Buffalo Bills move on offense for the first time here in the second half. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll be back with Kelly and company here at the Meadowlands. Dodge Stratus and
By
Dodge
Miller Lite, American Light Lager gold medal winner at the 1996 World Beer Cup. By HBO, it's not TV, it's HBO. And by IBM, solutions for a small planet.
And here is Jim Kelly.
Look at those drops. That's what I'm talking about. Richie Kotite complained about his, but Kelly's had more.
Kelly has only 1 for his last 9 at the end of the first half, and 4 of those were dropped. Thurman Thomas starts his second half, and there's nothing there. You could give him a yard to the 41. Victor Green with the tackle. And Thurman Thomas in need of some 62 yards rushing to break O.J. Simpson's Buffalo Bill career rushing record, and he has 43 of those, and he should get it in the second half.
And that would really be the best tonic right now for this offense for Buffalo that has really sputtered this entire season with only 7 touchdowns. There is something wrong with this offense. It isn't all in the quarterback.
Second down and 9. Thurman Thomas has the corner, and he has the first down. To the Jet 49-yard line. He needed 9, and he got 10 for the first down.
Well, just your basic quick flip. For anybody that thinks maybe Thurman Thomas has lost a little bit, he hadn't lost very much, because when they flipped that thing out, you notice the flip. You didn't see the flip, but you saw Thurman Thomas very quickly. That tells you something about how fast he was moving once he got that ball.
He now has 52 yards and 11 carries. He needs 11 to break the record. And here is Thomas again. So you can add 6 more to his total. 44-yard line. No, it's just 5, so it'll be second down and 5.
And the best thing for the Buffalo team right now offensively is to let that offensive line start get some confidence. You got some awful wide backsides up there. Let them come off the ball. You know, the best player in that group easily is their center, Kent Hull. 11-year veteran. This guy can come off the ball, and he is the brains of that unit, and that's what that unit needs right now, some confidence.
Second and 5. Here's Thomas again, and he has the record. He just broke O.J. Simpson's career rushing record for the Buffalo Bills. And that record was 10,183 yards, just surpassed by Thurman Thomas.
And where do they go, Charlie? They run a draw, and with that draw, they go right inside behind Kent Hull, working right there against Matt Brock. Right up inside. Reuben Brown, Ostrowski, and Kent Hull made that one happen.
And a first down at the Jet 34-yard line. Congratulations to Thurman. Here's his replacement, Derek Holmes. And it's not there. When Thurman Thomas is inducted into the Hall of Fame, as he will be, there's no telling how many records he then will hold.
Well, you know, what he needs to happen right now in the next year or so, or 2 or 3, or however long he plays for Buffalo, is he needs to get the support up front. That's how he gained all those yards early. Don't be fooled. I mean, the Howard Ballards and the Will Wolfords and the guys like that were around. That's why he was so successful early in his career, Charlie.
Second down and 12. 3-step drop. Pass is complete. Far side right on target and held on. It was Andre Reed with the reception.
You know, to me, after watching the Buffalo Bills for all these years, it just seems funny to watch them go into a huddle nowadays. Jim Kelly made the point to us. He said, hey, look, this is a different offense. The K-gun, I called the plays. That was my offense. This offense now, we get the signals from the sideline. He's got a very limited package at his disposal of what he can audible to and out of. I mean, they've taken the controls away from one of probably the last quarterbacks in the league that actually ran his own game.
It does. It looks like a different ballgame because the momentum of the game is different.
It's got a direct relation to how many points this offense is scoring, too, because they obviously don't have this offense down yet.
Third down and 5 from the short shotgun, and it is incomplete. So Steve Christie will come in with a field goal attempt. Again, it was Ray Mickens for the Jets defense. Christie has hit from 48 and 32. He has missed from 36 yards away, and this one will be from 47 yards out.
Remember, no wind, a real rarity here.
From 47 yards away, And this is good, and the Buffalo Bills have taken the lead for the first time in the ball game, 9-7 over the Jets. Back with the kickoff. I just like the promo. It's exciting. Here's Henry Bailey on the return. Out to the 15, to the 20. Nice move. Has some yardage to his return. Nice return. Taken down, out of bounds, and now we'll have the customary pushing and shoving. 24 yards on the return. Tim Tyndale is the man who wrestled him down. And a check of the ticker. Pittsburgh leading Houston by 1 in that showdown.
Is that 10-9? Is that points or fights?
Ooh, San Francisco coming back. Now trailing Cincinnati by 7.
Yeah,
Denver well in front of Baltimore.
That game, Cincinnati, San Francisco, and this one here at 9-7 is a good illustration. There's teams that are used to winning. They will find a way to come back and find a way to win. Teams that are used to losing, the biggest challenge for a coach is with a team that is used to losing. They usually find a way to say, oh, good. They don't think, how are we going to win? They think, ooh, I hope we don't lose.
First down, 29-yard line. Keyshawn in motion, and this is tipped at the line.
Well, that tape job on Phil Hansen's ankle, I guess, took pretty good. I don't know if it affected much of his vertical leap, but it was good timing. This is a good defense against a quick passing offense, is to have your defensive linemen get their hands up and jump and try to block the passes. If you're not going to get near the quarterback, still be a factor.
Reich has completed 11 of 19 for 111 yards. Second and 10. Here's the draw. Richie Anderson, nothing there. Tries to jump to the outside, and he will lose a couple of yards on the play. Phil Hansen is the man who got him. It'll be third down and forever.
You know, Hansen's doing some work here. I mean, this is a guy who went out with a little bit of a sprain. You got Hansen 90 there, top of the screen. I'll tell you what, he makes this play. Bruce Smith and company come in from the backside, Smith and Northern. But, I mean, he made the play. You're not talking much about Bruce Smith. We haven't mentioned Washington, the nose guard, at all.
Third down and 12 with 5 wide receivers, and that is backs to the motion man, and he stays back to block. They'll go with 4 wide receivers. Has a man incomplete. Richie Anderson. The play was made by Jeff Burris. Nice play by Burris.
Perfect timing, because a little less timing in this instance is pass interference. Watch the ball and the defender got there at the exact same time. Look at the way he reaches over. Now that's a great illustration here of athletic ability. It's hard to contort your body around like that so you don't make the contact, but you can still get your arms in there to block the pass.
And here's the kick by Brian Hansen. And here is Burris on the return. Played his collegiate ball at Notre Dame. When we talked to you about that Notre Dame upset by Air Force yesterday, he said, well, it's going to take me weeks to get over that. We've got a timeout. 8:56 left in the third. Back in a moment. 8:56 left in the third quarter. Buffalo with 3 field goals by Steve Christie. He's 3 for 4 in the ball game, leading the New York Jets 9-7. Jets only score coming on the right to Keyshawn Johnson, touchdown pass of 16 yards, capping a 74-yard drive. That came with 5:21 left to go in the first quarter. Thurman Thomas now. Here is the reverse. Andre Reed. Whoa.
And there's Marvin Washington in the backfield, Charlie.
Waiting for him.
Yeah, it's the old fool me once, fool me twice. That's the third time they've tried to bring that receiver around on a reverse, and you aren't going to get it the third time. Good defensive responsibility by Washington, who penetrates, gets up the field. That is excellent defense right there. Buffalo has done it in this game so far. They've been fairly conservative except for these occasional reverses. What they've done in the past when things haven't worked well, they've always gone back to the run and given you Thurman Thomas in great big doses.
Second and 23. Kelly far side, pass is complete for about 13 yards to the tight end Lonnie Johnson. Victor Green takes him out of bounds at the 44-yard line, so it is a pickup of 13. It'll be third down and 10. the Bills back to their original line of scrimmage. And again, on third down, they go with 3 wide receivers. Kelly has time, throws far side, pass is complete to Quinn Early. He's got the first down. And remember, a moment ago, it was 2nd and 23. A gain of 14. They needed 10. They've got the first down.
You know, Marv Levy is 71 years old, and the way this Buffalo team's playing is going to put a few extra years on him. Getting in a 2nd and 23, you put your quarterback in a terrible situation. He's going to get smacked around a little bit by Mo Lewis there. His quarterback steps up, makes the completion, and they do it the hard way on that one.
41-yard line of New York. Thurman Thomas straight ahead. He'll pick up a couple to the 39. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Mark Gunn is there for New York.
And I just think you're going to see from Marv Levy's offense right here is now that they dug out of this hole, we're going to be looking at Thurman, and more Thurman. And if you can't give it to him, let him circle out of the backfield and throw it to him.
Thurman Thomas now with 70 yards rushing in the ballgame. And here he is again. He's going to lose a yard. There's a flag down. Usually that means a face mask somewhere along the line.
I think you're going to have a hold in here, Charlie. So Jim Kelly and this offense gets to try to do it the hard way again.
You're right. It's against the Bills. And that was 2nd down and 8.
But this has been the story of this offense all year in 96.
Holding. Offense, number 79, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
On Reuben Brown.
Well, check this out. 79, Reuben Brown, left guard, blitzing linebacker. He gets a hold of him. He gets a good hold on him, too. He got a little arm, a lot of hand, and a lot of fingers on him.
2nd and 18. This is nothing. A moment ago, it's 2nd and 23. Not expecting Thurman Thomas. Well, he is going to pick up about 7. It'll be 3rd down and 11. Jet 42-yard line.
You know, if you're Buffalo right here offensively, I think you expect a blitz. You expect an attack from the New York Jets defense.
So they bring in Derek Holmes to block as a fullback, replacing Thurman Thomas, who comes out.
You've got to be ready for the blitz, especially coming from Kelly's block backside. You've got a slot situation on the top of the screen. Look for the blitz.
Only 16 yards difference in total offense. There's pressure and a sack. Victor Green. That is his 2nd sack of the season, and that is the 20th time this year, and now 4.5 games that Jim Kelly has been sacked.
Charlie, that's exactly what I told you about. Here's that slot. Here's Victor Green in the slot. He'll come right off the corner in the backside of Jim Kelly. I mean, if I can guess like that from up here, you'd think maybe they might know something like that. That was easy. You got Kelly in this offense guessing and struggling. You blitz him and you go after him.
Chris Moore is kicking to Wayne Corbett. Not that good a kick. Corbett takes it at the 18, stumbles, and then just dives out to about the 20 where he lost his balance. He was trying to get to the corner, and his feet wouldn't catch up with him. 5 yards on the return. Tyndale made the stop as he covered him. Back in a moment. Saturday at 1:30 Eastern here on NBC. Jets now from their own 24-yard line, first down. They trail by 2, 9-7 here in the 3rd quarter. White has a man open, and he hits him. It's Richie Anderson down the sideline for a big play for New York. Whoa. The Bills had been winning the battle of field position, but all of a sudden the tide turns for the Jets.
Well, remember what I told you about the attacking defense for Buffalo. Ron Earhart, the coordinator, knows that. This is taking a chance. You're going to get the blitz. Watch Richie Anderson come out of the backfield like this. Blitz, blitz, more blitz. Watch how many guys are coming after the quarterback. You got 6 rushing. You've got man because of the blitz. You're asking a linebacker off to a bad start. to try to cover Anderson, and that was a mismatch.
And a mismatch for 40 yards for the New York Jets to the Bills' 36-yard line. 3 steps, fires. Corbett hangs on to it. No, the ball comes loose. How are they going to rule it? Down by contact, I suspect. No, the ball did not come loose. And he is strong, isn't he? He's tenacious.
I'll tell you, earlier before we came back from commercial, Charlie, I was telling you, the Bills, the way they're playing, they're lucky they're playing the Jets today.
Well,
because they're not playing very well. But, the way the Jets are getting to start now, maybe they're lucky they drew the Bills with their opportunity to get the first win of the season. The Bills right now do not look like the Buffalo team of the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Second down, about a half a yard, a fumble on the exchange, and everybody dives in for it.
Strongest man gets it.
And they're still wrestling for it at the bottom of the stack. The Bills say they have it. They come out celebrating. The officials agree, and they do.
Remember what I said earlier, Charlie. The better teams that are used to winning always think, how can we find a way to win this? And the teams that aren't used to winning usually find a way to lose things.
Richie Anderson on the exchange from Frank Reich. We'll take another look.
Not much of an exchange. Watch what happens here.
Ooh.
Not only does Anderson never have it, Frank Reich never has it, because nobody's got it in green now. That's Buffalo's ball.
We have a timeout. Back in a moment.
The ball gets wet. Where's the bottom of the ball end up? On the quarterback's right hand. Watch the ball slip out right there. That ball is wet. Frank Reich has it slip out of his hands. Anderson never has a chance. And Chris Spielman there at linebacker, 54, goes into the dog pile and comes out with the ball.
So Spielman with a fumble recovery and the turnover. Second time in the ball game the Jets have turned it over. There's Chris. We mentioned what he told us about his son Noah. He said, well, the light of my life is my daughter, Madison May. So the Bills take over first down at their own 26-yard line. And Derek Holmes gets the call. He's going to pick up a couple to the 28. It'll be second down and 8.
Just when a lot of the times things start going well with the Jets so far this season, they've made mistakes. They've had the other team get the big play on them. It's one of the things Richie Kotite told us the other day. He talked about not scoring in the red zone, but he says, hey, people get big plays on us when we're on defense. Well, the offense just gave the Bills a big play.
Second down and 8. Derek Holmes again. And there's not anything there. So Kelly will have to go to the air, but he's today has completed only 10 passes. 10 of 23.
Well, he's 10 of 23, but that percentage, I think, is extremely misleading when you factor in the drops and whatnot into the equation. He has not had a bad day throwing the ball. His receivers have not caught it. The problem for him has really been the Jets defense as a group has played very effectively against the pass.
Third down and 9. 3 wide receivers. Tight end also goes out. Kelly goes down. Ball is loose. The Jets have it. It is scooped up by New York. Bobby Hamilton. Hamilton makes the big play for the Jets.
Well, Richie was saying our defense has had big plays made on them. And right now, the Jets defense makes maybe the biggest play of the year on the Buffalo Bills.
Mike Gunn hits him.
Getting the pressure from Gunn on the backside. Hamilton gets the ball, showing off his little fullback shtick. But just a bad play. Watch Gunn at the top of the screen. John Fina lunges. Gunn gets around him. Kelly never has a chance. And now, remember what I said at the very beginning of this game. The Buffalo defense has carried the Buffalo offense. And right now, they got an awful heavy load to carry down this low.
First down, goal to go, 9-yard line. Jets trailing by 2, 9-7. Here's a quick look at the turnovers. Reich, a little fade into the corner to Keyshawn, and he's got it. Keyshawn Johnson He returns 2.5 weeks after arthroscopic surgery. He said, my leg is fine. I'm even stronger now. Said they cleaned some garbage out of the knee.
Well, Charlie, he doesn't make this catch with a bad knee. He didn't make the last catch with a bad knee. Here you're seeing a big physical receiver just go up and come down with the ball, ripping it away from Burris. Jeff Burris had good coverage. Keyshawn Johnson gets his second touchdown because he is a strong receiver.
And the Jets, are they going to go for 2? No, they may have changed their mind. Let's see. As Krbet and Johnson both have gone out, it looked as if they were going for 2, and now they're in the huddle. They may still go for 2. And they are. This is for 2. As Amano comes back to this side, it's there. Kyle Brady.
That's his third catch of the year, Charlie. Second of the day.
For 2 more points. Who would have believed this a moment ago? Jets up 15-9.
A nice young man came to the front door the other night just as we were sitting down to dinner.
And Buffalo defense, they're not allowing for Brady coming from the backside tight end position. They are shocked. Richie is ecstatic. Maybe they are lucky they got the Bills today.
And the Jets go up 15-9. Leading by 6. And Nick Lowry will be kicking off.
You know, the point Richie is no doubt making along that sideline right now is they've had leads before. They have had leads during the season before. They've blown those leads before. Not a time to celebrate, not a time to let down. Now is the time where a team that's going to win makes a big play.
Their first touchdown in the third quarter this year, and the Jets have never led this year after 3 quarters. Here's Eric Moles on the return from the 8 to 15. Nice return. He's out across the 30 to around the 31-yard line. 23 yards on the return. Now let's go back to the touchdown to Keyshawn Johnson.
Let me take you back a couple of weeks before Keyshawn Johnson had that knee surgery. Remember that jump ball in Washington that he got robbed? That was not pass interference. That was a catch for a touchdown. Almost a duplicate kind of play call. This time he comes down. There's no flag, and it's 6 points for the Jets.
6 receptions, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Keyshawn now with 4 touchdowns on the year. Kelly, good protection. He goes deep to the tight end, Lonnie Johnson. Down at the 48-yard line of the Jets. It'll be good for 20 yards in the first down. And here come the Bills again.
You know, Charlie, you got Green down right here on the field, but, you know, you're talking confidence. Let's say confidence is a tank of gas. When the Buffalo Bills offensively are going to Super Bowls, that tank was completely full. That needle was pegged all the way to the right. Right now, Marv Levy's offense and Marv Levy's quarterback's confidence is at about half. Now, is it half full or is it half empty? But their confidence is about half of what it used to be.
Here's a screen. Thurman Thomas left side. That's the reception and the first down. You pick up 11 yards on the play.
You know, right now, last 2 plays, Jim Kelly and his Buffalo offense seem like they come onto the field and said, hey, now wait a minute, this is the Jets that's doing this to us. You know, we've got to execute our offense. But remember the confidence factor. It's easy to have a couple of plays in a row. The confidence factor is what really killed this offense this year in the red zone. We've seen Jim Kelly and this offense get in the red zone a few times in the first half. So far, all they got to show for their offense is 3 field goals.
First down, Jet 36-yard line. Thurman Thomas, nothing there. Thomas is going to lose 3 yards rushing from the 36 back to the 39, and we have 53 seconds and counting. Time remaining in the third quarter with the Jets up 15-9 over the Buffalo Bills.
Remember how the Jets made their big play defensively the last time Buffalo was in this position. They attacked. On that play, they attacked and penetrated and stopped Thurman Thomas. Richie's defense cannot stop attacking. They're not the better team. You've got to attack.
Kelly below 50%. 12 of 25. And this will be 13 of 26, so he goes to 50% on the day to Robert Coons, the third tight end. Bobby Houston is the man who nailed him.
This will come up as 3rd and short. A big call here for Marv Levy and his offense. Now is when it comes in handy to have that big physical offensive line. Now is when you expect the Jets defense to be slanting and trying to stuff things down inside, knowing that after the break here, they're going to get a little Thurman Thomas.
Kelly looked at the clock and said, let's not rush it. We'll do it going the other way. That is the end of the third quarter. The Jets are up 15-9. We'll be right back after these words from your local station. 3 quarters, Buffalo, 3 field goals. Jets 2 touchdowns, both to Keyshawn Johnson, and they went for 2 on the second one. 15-9. 3rd down and a yard. And Derek Holmes may come up short.
Attacking and penetration. If they stopped it here, that's how they did it, by attacking and getting the penetration. I'm very surprised that's Holmes on that carry, to be honest with you. He is not a big, bulkier version of Thurman Thomas, and Thurman Thomas is one of the best ever in short yardage. They are short enough not even to measure, and if you're Buffalo, I agree 100%. In this situation, you go for it.
4th down and 1.
Still no Thurman Thomas.
This is the eye. Tyndale is the up back. Behind him is Derek Holmes, and it's going to be close. He may get it.
He's got it.
He has to get across the 26. If he gets the mark, yes, he does. But I'm surprised. Why is Thurman Thomas not in there in this situation?
The most important fact for this Buffalo offense right now is the fact that they need to keep firing on these cylinders, because right now they are firing like the offense has. But they're 6 yards away from being at their nemesis for 96. That's in the red zone, inside the 20.
1st down at the Jet 26. Play action fake. Comes back. And it's quit early, I believe. Meanwhile, after a gain of 11, it was Quinn Early. Here's Greg Gumbel with an update. Greg?
All right, Charlie, in Denver, Baltimore's Vinny Testaverde for the 3rd straight game has thrown 3 touchdown passes. This is a 25-yarder to Michael Jackson. The 2-point conversion failed. Denver led 28-26, and Jason Elam has just kicked a field goal to make it a 31-26 lead late in the 3rd. Charlie.
Thank you, Greg, and it's so good to hear Greg Gumbel's voice. If you do not realize, he was on that plane at LaGuardia that had all those problems last night, but he is okay. And okay also is Derek Holmes at the 5-yard line now of the New York Jets.
And they're inside the red zone. What do they do when they get in there on that play? That pass to Tony Klein, they follow it up with a 9-yard run. Now it'll be 2nd and 1 on the 5-yard line. Count them. 1 fourth-quarter touchdown this year. Does that sound like the Buffalo Bills to you? I don't think so.
You know something else? They've only scored 7 all year. Holmes gets away. Unbelievable. Victor Green had him in his grasp, and he couldn't bring him down.
Victor Green looked like he couldn't decide, am I going to grab Jim Kelly or do I grab Holmes? Watch Victor Green come from deep middle and penetrate. Watch this. Nobody touches him. Right at the handoff. Very lucky it's not a fumble. Holmes never quits. Green loses his wrap. And for all that bluster, all that running, all that twisting, all that missed tackle, and all our enthusiasm, what's that? 1st down, 4-yard line. Still the red zone, though. You got to have touchdowns down here.
5.5 minutes, 10th play of the drive, and we may have an infraction.
Little motion.
Let me go back to that reception. Was that Tony Klein that caught that pass?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, good. I want to clear that up. Walt Coleman will clear this up for us.
False start prior to the snap. Offense number 86. 5-yard penalty.
It's Tony Klein.
Repeat, 1st down.
Hey.
Well, you do
Charlie,
something good and you do something bad.
This Buffalo offense has done this all year long. Remember last week? Kelly throws a bad pass, a stupid move he admits, gets an intentional grounding when they got the ball in position to tie last week. Miami, here, they get the ball on the 4-yard line. What do? They move.
9-yard line, 1st First down goal to go. Thurman Thomas. Little skip move right through the middle. And he takes that pile with him. Does he take it in? Not yet.
No signal from the officials.
No.
They're going to mark that just short.
Boy, he moved that pile about 5 yards.
Well, he had a little help.
Yeah.
We take another look at this. This is not Thurman Thomas. Watch him. He's not dragging 5 guys all by himself. He's hit here.
Well, he's taken 2 of them.
Houston. Yeah, but look at Reuben Brown.
I know.
What do you think he is?
A little pull and a little shove.
It's a little illegal. Doesn't get called because that's aiding your runner. But it's second in goal, and it is in the red zone.
Here is Thurman, and he's back at the 4-yard line. And it's 3rd and goal. Bobby Houston got him.
Penetration and attack. Both apply to the Jets defense on that play. Thurman Thomas trying to be cute, trying to take this counter outside because Bobby Houston stuffs it on the outside.
Look at Gary Jones.
Watch Gary Jones, 25.
Yeah.
Backside getting in there. Rick Hamilton got the front side. Gary Jones got the backside. Now 3rd and goal on the 5.
And Buffalo wants a timeout. That'll stop the clock with 10:19. 10:19 left in the 4th. The margin is 6. Back in a moment.
To you by Nissan, who reminds you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. By FedEx, just what you want, just when you want it. With FedEx, it's the way the world works. By Sprint, the official telecommunications provider to the NFL. And by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
New York Jets are leading by a score of 15-9. This is their first 4th quarter lead since last December.
Can they hold it?
3rd down to go. Kelly stumbles. Sets his pressure. He's throwing this one away. It'll be 4th down, and the field goal team will come in. Buffalo trails by 6. They can cut that margin in half.
Charlie, they found another way in the red zone not to do it. No one trips Jim Kelly but Jim Kelly. That is part bad luck. That is part just doing it the bad time. Something happened to you. Smart move to throw it away, but a great stand here by the Jets.
22-yard field goal attempt, and this was as good. This is the 4th field goal for Steve Christie. 48, 32, 47, and now 22. He has missed once from 36. We'll be back with a kickoff in a moment.
This morning, strange things are happening all over the world.
With every cool in the pool. It's a house on fire called the Cotton Club, where every night the vibe is hot and live gigs aren't the only things that cook, because the club chases up some of the best choff in town. So if you're hip to the scene, grab some threads and bring your Visa card, because the club jives and jukes at a shape, but never with American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Designed Nissan Maxima. It's attracting a lot of attention.
The legendary cigar.
And here he is, the incomparable, invincible, unbeatable cigar!
Now, in his final race, he looks to accomplish an unprecedented feat, repeating in the Classic. The Breeders' Cup next Saturday on NBC.
I was wrong. Watch Jim Kelly's right foot. Jerry Ostrowski steps out and trips his quarterback.
And here is Henry Bailey for the Jets with a kickoff return. Oops, stops, cuts back.
Bad time for indecision.
It really is. 11 yards on the return.
Remember last week in the same situation, Charlie, both his receivers, the tight ends, were on the right side of the field. He recovered from this stumble, when he throws it away, he throws it in that same left end zone that last week was intentional grounding. This week he's got a receiver, so it's not called because he is in the pocket. But stumble or no stumble, there was nothing there. The Jets had that one snuffed.
So the Jets will start now from their own 16-yard line. Their margin is down to 3, 15-12. With 9:58, that is the time remaining in the ballgame. The Jets' record again is 0-7. The Bills' record is 4-2. Right over the middle, pass is complete to the 20-yard line as Keyshawn Johnson. Chris Spielman is there to stop him immediately. They'll mark it to the 21-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. And for those of you who follow the New York Jets, Kyle Clifton was in on the field goal attempt by the Buffalo Bills, making his first appearance in the ball game. And this now becomes his 196th straight game that he's appeared in for the Jets. So starting back in the 5th grade, junior high school, and college. Played his collegiate ball at TCU. There's a fumble. And a scramble forward, and the Jets may recover the way back, but
still loose. Bills have it.
And Buffalo has
it. You find a way to win a game, or you find a way to lose it.
And look for Jeff Burris. There he is, number 22.
Unbelievable in this situation. Watch the ball right straight through Frank Reich's hand. Look how wet that ball is. That is the 2nd time that ball has slipped through Frank Reich's hands. It can't be held until finally Burris gets it as it slips out of the pile. Monumental mistake for the Jets. Leading by 3. Good accurate pass on their 1st down. And here they find a way to make this mistake at a critical moment in the 4th quarter. Bills, 1st down though, Charlie. This counts as red zone.
At the 5-yard line, 1st down, goal to go. This will be close. Does he get in? It's Tim Tyndale. Chalinsky stops him just short of the goal line, so it'll be 2nd down and goal to go. As you can see, it's only, just inches away.
Still no Thurman Thomas. You got Tyndale and Holmes in there in the backfield for the Buffalo Bills.
Diving over the top, but turned away is Tim Tyndale. So it's going to be 3rd down and goal. He may have lost a little on the play.
Well, the Bills right here get into a testosterone match. They want to see who's the strongest, who's the biggest, who's the baddest. And on that play, the Jets and Jim Vecchiarelli's defense just stuffed them.
Robert Coons comes in, 3 tight end. 3rd down, goal to go.
There's Duffy and Reich on the sideline, making sure they have that snap together because of the turnover that set this up.
To the right side, and stumbling into the end zone is Derek Holmes with his first touchdown of the year. And that is only the 8th touchdown of the year for the Buffalo Bills.
Just what the proverbial doctor ordered for this offense is finishing off a big turnover in the 4th quarter in this situation. If a team like the Jets gives it to you, you got to make it happen. Gunn made his thing happen, almost makes a play in the backfield. Green can't stop Holmes. And of everybody in a Bills uniform, Jim Kelly had to be the happiest on that play.
And that was set up by Jeff Burris' recovery of the fumble. The extra point is good. And the Buffalo Bills have taken the lead. 19-15 with 7:58 left.
He's too weak.
This V in Reich's hands, that should still be a V, but it's not a V. See how wide open that thing got? Frank Reich started to back away and let his hands get apart, and the ball went right through it. That's why you saw he and Duffy on the sideline taking a few extra snaps. And also, don't discount the fact, Charlie, that when those balls are put on the ground and the center puts that extra pressure on it, the bottom of that ball gets wet. And the center is trained that the bottom of the ball is basically what comes back up into the quarterback's hands. So that makes it awful tough on Frank Reich because he's getting a little slap from the wet ball in his hand, too.
Harry Galbraith comes out of the lineup. Harry Boatswain has replaced him. Galbraith was shaken up on that last play. So the Jets will start from their own 25-yard line. They need a Jet to help them. They have 7:47 time remaining.
Plenty of time. No reason to do anything stupid here and try to make something happen.
Is that an omen? The Jets at 7:47 time remaining? Let's see. Reich throws underneath the coverage to Wayne Chrebet. And Chrebet comes sliding past the first down marker. He's got the first down. He picks up 13.
Well, you know, if this is the Olympic coverage and you're talking about skiing or you're talking about speed skating, Chrebet going full speed on the ice loses an edge. He's got the edge. Just lost the edge.
How slippery is the AstroTurf in these conditions?
Well, evidently for him, a little slippery, I guess.
More so than we realize.
Well, it's always slippery on the side of your shoe because you're not supposed to run on it.
39-yard line, first down. Right, good protection, deep over the middle, into triple coverage, incomplete. Whoa. Whoa, Keyshawn. He is trapped.
But he's also not the last guy to get up. You know who the last guy to get up is? The tough guy, Chris Spielman, the inside linebacker. Now watch the rookie party the defense throws for Buffalo here. There's one rookie, there's 3 Buffalo Bills. But watch the last guy to come in and hit. 1, 2. Number 3 is Spielman, and he was the last guy to get up.
And here is Keyshawn, second down and 10. Wants to go deep to it. Can he get behind the coverage? He had to stop and come back. It's picked up. It is intercepted by Jeff Burris. Burris to the 40, the 45, the 50, and out of bounds.
Frank Reich told us the other day, Charlie, sometimes when I get a blitz or I feel something happen, I'm just going to put the ball up and I'm going to let Keyshawn come down with it. He came down with it with 2 touchdowns, but in this critical fourth quarter situation, he puts the ball up a little short thinking, hey, my guy can do it. My guy can come down with it. Well, Frank, the other guy's guy came down with that one. Good anticipation and leap by Burris. And then a nice return.
Tacks on 25 yards on the return. Now the Buffalo Bills have 2 fumble recoveries and they have 2 interceptions. And guess what? Jeff Burris has one of the fumble recoveries and one of the interceptions.
And Thurman Thomas is back in the game.
First down at the 47-yard line. And here comes Thurman.
You know, I don't know why this guy isn't in goal line and short yardage situations. You can run like that. You can run like that in any category.
41-yard line, a gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4. Indianapolis losing earlier today. Buffalo, if they hold on to this lead, they'll be tied for the lead in the East. And the Jets will continue at 0-8.
The key here for the Jets defense, you got to stop the run. They're just going to take the air out of the ball and the time out of the clock right here with the run.
First man through is Tim Tyndale. Should pick up the first down. Marv Levy told us yesterday when we talked with him after he finally got here after a 3-hour delay on the runway in Buffalo because of the weather here. He said, you know, the Jets are really playing well. They are really playing well, but they have a tendency every once in a while to self-destruct.
You mean on Sundays?
Have you seen this? Yes. Yes.
Just only on Sundays.
Only on Sundays.
And we'll look at that record, 14-4 against the Jets.
First down, 36-yard line. 5.5 minutes left. Bills lead by 4, 19-50. And Thurman Thomas is stopped, this time by Bobby Hamilton, who has the fumble recovery for the Jets, and that is the only turnover by the Buffalo Bills.
The 2 things you do in this situation as an offense, you're going to run the ball, you're trying to take the time off the clock and get points on the board. You don't go out of bounds, and you don't fumble. And I'm sorry, I don't root for Yankees.
That's all right. I do.
Can't do it.
I do.
Can't do it.
Well, you live in Atlanta. That's okay.
Well, no, I grew up a Dodgers fan. I mean, I was born in New York and lived in Brooklyn. I love the Dodgers. Can't stand the Yankees always beat us.
I first saw the Yankees in 1939. World's Fair was here. This pass is complete to Quinn Early at the 30-yard line. My grandmother then took me down to Macy's, and we bought a pair of pajamas in the Yankee pinstripe. That was one of my proud possessions. Still happening.
That's a lot more information than I need.
that you wanted either, too, isn't it?
It sets up a big 3rd and 4 or 5 right here for the Buffalo Bills and Jim Kelly.
Jet 30-yard line. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left of the game.
Got to be a safe pass.
And it's right on target to Andre Reed. And he will take it to the 20-yard line. 9 yards on the play and the first down.
If you're Jim Kelly and you're in this situation, it doesn't get any safer. As you see Kotite asking for the timeout. Then going for your Pro Bowl All-Pro receiver, Andre Reed.
Victor Green is down.
You know, people said this guy was through. They said, well, maybe does he really need to come back? Is he going to play anymore? They're sure lucky here in Buffalo. He's got a lot more left in him.
Oh, yes. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll be back to the Meadowlands right after this. The sidelines. The ball at the Jet 20-yard line. And the Buffalo Bills, with 3:56 left, have a first down. By the way, next week, Buffalo is at New England, a Sunday night game, and the Jets will be at Arizona, and Randy and I will be there for that one.
Well, Marv Levy is just thinking right now, hold on to the ball, run it hard, and we got to get points here. Obviously, touchdowns what they want, but points is the critical factor. A field goal puts them up by a touchdown.
He's got about 5 yards as we go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Charlie, look at the shootout happening at Mile High Stadium. Vinny Testaverde has thrown 4 touchdown passes. This is John Elway's 3rd, all 3 to Ed McCaffrey. That one puts Denver back on top, 38-34 at the conclusion of your game. Charlie, viewers will be switched to the conclusion of this one.
All right, thank you, Greg. Don't forget that on NBC tonight, Dateline, Third Rock, Boston Common, and then the movie event, The Ring. That's NBC tonight. With a timeout on the field, the clock is stopped now with 3:25. That is the time remaining. And each ball club will now have 2 timeouts remaining in the game. By the way, for the Bills, the most points this year has been 23, and that was on opening night against the Giants right here at the Meadowlands. Last year, they had 23 or more points some 8 times. Half of the games that they play.
Yeah, it's a more orderly offense. It's a more conservative offense. And so far in 96, like you've been saying, it's a much more ineffective offense.
Bills are up by 4, 19-15. Here's Thurman Thomas on the pitch. They string him out, and he goes sliding down.
Smart play by Thurman Thomas. He wasn't tackled. He slid down to stay in bounds to keep that clock going.
And the Jets want to stop it. With 3:15 now left, and the Jets are down to 1 timeout, and the Buffalo Bills have 2 timeouts remaining. Buffalo, at least in this ball game, are doing just what they have to do. They make the plays when they have to make them. And as we saw from the graphic a moment ago, if they hold on to the lead here, they move into a tie with Indianapolis at, would it be close to the halfway point, right?
It goes to 5 and 2.
Point. Yeah.
But I mean, look at it. It's perfectly illustrates what I was talking about earlier, Charlie. The teams that are winners, that know how to win, somehow, some way think we are going to find a way to win this football game.
They expect to win.
They're in the process of finding a way to win this football game. The teams that have a losing background, you know, no one is a loser, but organizations have losing background, and this team can lose with the best of them. You don't think about winning, you think about not losing, and you end up losing 99% of the time.
Here is Thurman Thomas, and he is going to be stopped at the 15-yard line. That was 3rd down and 6. And so the field goal attempt by the Buffalo Bills is scheduled next. And Steve Christie has been successful from 48, 32, 47, and he said his last one that he made was 23. And he has missed from 36. So he is 4 of 5 today.
Well, I tell you, if Christie doesn't make this field goal, he's already missed that one from 36 you talked about. He'll be on a bus tonight. He will not be flying home with Marv Levy and the Bills. He'll be on a bus somewhere.
You mean they don't remember the ones that he makes?
You never remember the ones. No, no.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No.
Jets take their last timeout. Stopping the clock now with 3:07. And a check of the ticker. Philadelphia defeating Miami earlier today.
What a monster day for Irving Fryar.
And Dallas had to come from behind to beat Atlanta. Atlanta, their record now 0-7. New England over Indianapolis. That's the one that we mentioned a moment ago. Washington by 10 over the Giants from the 23, an attempt at 33 yards. Right down the middle. Dead solid, perfect. From 33 yards away, Steve Christie now has hit 5 field goals in the ball game, and the Bills lead 22-15.
This has got to drive Richie Kotite absolutely nuts. I mean, he and Ron Earhart just say, God, what do we have to do? We had the lead. We're in the 4th quarter. It's what we want. Well, let's look down the road at what they got coming up now. Look, they got a bye in 2 weeks. Let's be realistic. Keyshawn Johnson made his I guarantee you we won't go 0-16. And, you know, I'm no Swami either, so I can't look down the road. But if I'm the Jets, I got to look at that game right there against Arizona as my chance to get off the schneid. And Arizona is not a bad team. I mean, Arizona's won a couple games this year. So, you know, Keyshawn, you've had a great game so far. You've got 2 catches so far. You got 3 minutes left in this one to get your first win. In the next 8 days, you better get it, or it might have to be given to you by somebody.
With 10 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 4th quarter, the Jets were up by 3, 15-12. And that was some 7 minutes ago. And now the Bills are up in this one, 22-15. Buffalo by 7 points. The Jets with no timeouts, but they do have 3 minutes and 2 seconds to work with, and the 2-minute stoppage of the clock.
Exactly, Charlie. And what they're looking at is to continue what they've been doing offensively on the positive side, not the negative side. For Buffalo, now is when you sign all these all-pros. You sign the free agents like Hoff and Spielman. Now is when you need the big plays out of your big players.
Henry Bailey on the hop to the 15. And then he goes out of bounds at about the 19, maybe the 20-yard line. He has 14 yards on the return. And the Jets will start at their own 20. They need a touchdown. Carolina defeating New Orleans. Carolina's 5-2. They are unbelievable.
Dom Capers has done a wonderful job.
He really has.
In Carolina, he's done most of it with defense. You can see they kick that many field goals. It's like he's back in New Orleans again with Martin Anderson.
Pittsburgh leading Houston in the 4th. Cincinnati and San Francisco now tied 21-21. Bengals are up 21-0. Denver just barely in front of Baltimore.
Cincinnati's another losing team finding a way to lose the ball game.
St. Louis by 3 over Jacksonville. Here's Reich. Over the middle, pass is complete. It'll be a first down. Fred Baxter pulls it in. That's only his 4th reception on the year. Matt Stevens with the stop.
They're the key here for the Jets. Hurry, but don't rush. Wow.
Boy, Reich was hit just as he made the release, and he came up behind Keyshawn Johnson, but he was nailed.
Guess who? Remember I talked about the big players have to make the big plays at the right time?
Yep.
Bruce Smith has only made a couple tackles tonight. Has a very quiet night so far against Jumbo Elliott. That is a decleater. There was not a single spike on the bottom of the shoe, even if it is a basketball shoe for Frank Reich, that was anywhere near the ground after Bruce hit him.
2:32, time remaining in the ballgame. Onside, the diving catch, and it is good. Is that Corbett? Yes, a great catch. Super reactions. Wayne's World gets up and goes out of bounds. He does about 3 great things. First, he catches the ball. Second, he gets up and makes yardage. Third, he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
You know, not a bad play. Not a bad play again for Buffalo on that thing. But I mean, Reich put that thing right out there where it needed to be. And Corbett shows why they just can't shake this kid. Richie Kotite can't get rid of this guy. The Jets organization, I don't care how long all these guys are around in this organization in New York, whoever's running this place for the next few years can't get rid of Corbett.
Corbett, 4 receptions, 42 yards in the ballgame from the shotgun. Over the middle, Corbett again. Has 5, slips a tackle, and he heads for the sideline. They're going to mark him out. just short of the first down. About, maybe half a yard. So it's second down and short. Again, stopping the clock. 2:20. That is the time remaining in the ballgame. 44-yard line of Buffalo.
And right now, Frank Reich is making the plays at quarterback like they wanted Neil O'Donnell to when they gave him that $25 million contract. These are the kind of plays your big money quarterback makes at the time of the year you need them. You see Neil O'Donnell there in the back with a sling on his arm. Looks like he's about to jump out of the booth in anticipation.
Right, 19 to 31, and this one is incomplete. Kravett, that was close. That was close. We'll take another look to see if there really was pass interference.
No, that was a nice play by Ken Irvin.
Okay.
You know, because it's not the arm you see. It's the arm you don't see that usually gets called. So it's not the left arm batting down the ball you worry about. It's the right arm holding. And Irvin, I could see the right arm on this side where we were. He was not holding. Good anticipation and good defense by Irvin.
Jets in 4-down territory. Is 3rd down and 1. Reich is changing the play. 4 wide receivers. From the shotgun throws, Keyshawn has it, and he is stopped. Point of the catch will be around the 36-yard line. You know, Keyshawn said something to you that he is getting mugged. He's getting mugged. As soon as he builds his reputation, they'll stop mugging him, or the officials will call it and protect him. 2-minute warning. The ball at the 36-yard line of Buffalo. 1st down, Jazz. That's not an alien ship that's landing. That is Keyshawn Johnson. 8 receptions, 94 yards, 2.5 weeks after arthroscopic surgery.
He's going to need an ice bag for every catch he's had tonight after this one, after being off for a couple weeks.
And he wasn't worried about playing on the artificial surface. 5 wide receivers, 1st down. Pressure gets rid of it, incomplete. Just off of the fingertips of Wayne Kravett.
I think it might be a shot to the head there on the blitz.
Flag comes down.
Matt Stevens, the rookie safety, comes in and gets a late shot. I think he got Reich about on the head. Now he just pointed, I was going to say.
Just pointed the wrong way.
I haven't seen a quarterback get called for unnecessary roughness in a long time. Watch Stevens coming off the corner. Watch him right around the head. Absolutely.
Yep. Defense number 23 hit to the head. 15 yards.
And, you know, speaking of a quarterback with a roughing code, I think the last one I saw was Jim Kelly. But he threw a rusher aside a couple of 3 years ago. 21-yard line, Buffalo. First down.
Remember that great finish last year? Ended up 28-26 with the Jets and the Buffalo Bills right here in the same park, same field, same end of the field. Through that big Hail Mary caught by Morrell. Didn't get the 2-point conversion to tie it. They're used to the wild finishes.
Buffalo leading by 7, 22-15, 1:56 left. They're bumping at the 5-yard line, and they're going to say no. Looking for the flag. There's no flag. The bumping at the 5-yard line. Kravett says what happened. Manuel Martin had position on him, and the officials ruled that Kravett just ran into him.
Kravett is running to the football.
Now, you can't tell on that. Well, he got another one for you.
Watch this. Kravett's running to the football. I think that's a good call. Martin is also running to the football.
Yeah. They call it incidental contact.
It's heavy incidental.
Yeah,
it's not a light incidental, but it is incidental.
The key is what you said. Both were going to the football. 2nd down and 10. This pass is complete. 13 yards. Incomplete. They're going to rule it. That stops the clock. 1:48. Let's go to New York for an update. Greg.
2.
All right, Charlie, in San Francisco, the Niners, once down 21-0, have come all the way back. Steve Young, 45 yards to the rookie Terrell Owens, his first NFL touchdown. They are under a minute and a half to play. Minute 14, 21-21 in regulation. Charlie?
All right, thank you, Greg. And here the margin is 7, 1:48 time remaining. The Bills up. Bills with 2 timeouts. The Jets have no timeouts remaining. It is 3rd down and 10.
He's going to find Keyshawn somewhere.
Kept 2 backs in the block, and touchdown, Wayne Kravett. Whoa! As he was tripped, caught it in midair. 21 yards and the score. He was bookended by Kurt Schultz and Emmanuel Martin, and he still made the catch.
Well, you want to talk about concentration both by a quarterback and by a wide receiver. Takes a lot of guts in a situation like this to throw this kind of pass. Watch the safeties crisscross. That is absolutely perfect placement of the football. Dangerous placement, but perfect placement.
Was it last year they went for 2 and failed? Now they'll go for 1 in the tie. And look to overtime. It is good. And we are tied at 22 with 1:43 remaining.
This is a big play for Wayne Chrebet. He's made them all through the early season for the Jets. Here in the 8th game, he makes his biggest play of the year for the Jets on that one. That is concentration. That's being a tough guy. Now, what you got to watch at here, look at it from above. He's at the top of the screen, in the slot. Look at him cut across. The ball's in the air. Look at the safeties crisscross. I mean, that is not only a great catch, that's extremely lucky by Frank Reich, and that's Reich getting to show off his arm.
21-yard touchdown reception. That is his 2nd touchdown of the year.
Remember, Charlie, 1 minute and 43 seconds to go in the game. In the end of the first half, Buffalo moved the ball right down the field with a lot less time than this. No time for the Jets to celebrate.
We are tied 22-22. Here's a reminder that following the game, most of these stations Dateline Sunday, then his 2 all-new must-see comedies, Third Rock from the Sun, followed by Boston Common, plus the world premiere all-star movie event, The Ring. Viewers on the West Coast will see these shows at their regularly scheduled times. But first things first, we still have 1 minute 43 left. You have Jim Kelly throwing. No telling what might happen at the end of this one. And the Bills also have 2 timeouts remaining. Eric Moles on the return. He needs a good one for field position. Does not get it. He was dropped by Fred Baxter. 15 yards on the return.
But remember, though, Charlie, this is not the Buffalo Bills offense that people lived in mortal fear of. This is the Buffalo Bills offense and a Buffalo Bills quarterback struggling. Jim Kelly came into this game with 2 touchdowns and 11 interceptions.
But Kelly is more comfortable in this, the 2-minute offense, because he runs the show.
Yeah,
and he likes that.
If they are indeed running that old style Kelly, K-gun offense.
All right, let's see as they start from the 20-yard line with 1:37 and 2 timeouts remaining. Kelly has pressure, steps away. He points, once a little screen block, goes out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock.
Yeah, Jim Kelly's been doing a little bit of work with his feet tonight. He already got that scramble he had in the first half was the 2nd longest run of his career. And here now he's getting the pressure and down the field, getting very good coverage. And he just runs for a few yards.
I bet it felt like the longest of his career, though.
Well, yeah. But that's a situation where he couldn't slide.
No, that's right.
You had to get out of bounds.
He's rushed for 28 yards. 2nd down and 4. Waits in the pocket, throws a diving grab. They're going to rule that he caught it. Yes. Nice catch by Eric Moles. And a gain of 17 yards, and it is the Jim Kelly offense.
And they're just running this K-gun offense. Jim Kelly looks more and more confident. The key in the K-gun offense, though, is the offensive line, knowing their blocking assignments and giving them the time.
3 wide receivers, first down, 43-yard line. Is that Thurman Thomas? No, Lonnie Johnson coming to the sideline. The big tight end, 6'3", 240 pounds out of Florida State. Taken in the 2nd round in '94.
A minute left in the 4th quarter here, Charlie. They're tied 22 all. Christie has missed a short one of 36 yards already. They need to get another 30 yards down the field. I think realistically to make it a chip shot, 20 is a stretch.
They've gone 29 yards in 37 seconds. And here's a pump fake, and it's incomplete, and that stops the clock with 55 seconds.
Right now,
it will now be 3rd down.
Remember how successful the Jets defense was earlier against the Buffalo offense. How'd they do it, Charlie? Penetration and attacking. Right now, Richie's defense is not penetrating and attacking. The Jets want the crowd to get into the game.
It is so important that they do get in the game here with Buffalo on offense. running the K-Gun.
They need pressure on Kelly, though, with a blitz.
With all the time in the world, he gets a pass off. It is complete at the 38-yard line. And that is the first down, and the clock continues on its march. 44, and then they stop it. A gain of 13 on the play to Eric Moles.
A timeout by Kelly in that Buffalo offense.
Ball game is tied 22-22. Now with 44 seconds left.
Charlie, you have got to put pressure on Jim Kelly in this situation. This looks like the dreaded prevent defense. You're rushing 4 bodies. You're giving Jim Kelly 5 seconds, and not rushing Jim Kelly and being in a prevent, all it's going to do is prevent you from winning. You got 10 yards more from the Buffalo Bills' perspective in Jim Kelly, though. 10 more yards, you are in secure Christie field goal range.
Christie 3 times has had 5 field goals. That includes this game. But he has never had 6 in a ball game. He may have his opportunity here.
And right now it'd be about 54, 55 yards, and that is not in his range.
44 seconds remaining. Bills with 1 timeout, a little knockdown. Nice play by Victor Green.
Victor Green had the ball in his hands, Charlie. Victor Green had the opportunity to step in front. Watch his anticipation. Watch the timing on this. He sees Lonnie Johnson. He steps around him. Oh, he could have had that ball. Johnson's hands are in there too, but gets back to finding a way.
41 seconds left. Here's the handoff to Thurman Thomas. Thomas at the middle to the 29-yard line. Getting closer and closer to the field goal attempt by Steve Christie. Lonnie Young with the tackle. 29 seconds and counting. But remember, Buffalo has the luxury of a timeout before they can bring on, or they need to bring on, the field goal team.
46-yarder from here, Charlie.
Going deep and incomplete. Andre Reed, the intended receiver. And I believe it was Ray Mickens, yes, that was taken right down the sideline. So with 15 seconds left. And it's 4th down and 2. This is either the ball game or overtime from the 37-yard line, an attempt to 47 yards. Now remember, he has hit from 47 in this ball game, and he has also hit from 48.
Attack and penetration inside.
It looks and is good. From 47 yards away, Steve Christie, 6 out of 7 field goals, and the Jets have only 10 seconds to try and recover from a 3-point deficit. Bills are up 25-22.
Marv Levy will move to 15-4 against the Jets. Somehow, some way, the team with the winning background finds a way to do it. The quarterback with a touchdown to interception ratio of 2-11 finds a way to pass the ball down the field in his old K-gun style. And Richie Kotite watches his team, because of that field goal, drop to 0-8 and just compounds the worst start in the history of this franchise.
As you can tell on the screen, 10 seconds, that is the time remaining. Kelly's stats are now 19 of 36. He has thrown for 221 yards. But probably the most important stat is that he did it when he had to, right at the end, running his offense that he loves to run.
Yeah, and you know, for all the talk about, you know, field goals and Christie and whatnot, how big is that field goal of Nick Lowry's hitting the upright in the first half?
Oh, yeah. Keyshawn Johnson with a pair of touchdowns for the Jets. We mentioned that he is coming back 2.5 weeks off of arthroscopic surgery. Joan Bernard Samuelson won the Olympic trials in 1984, 17 days after surgery. So if you are the great athlete and operate at that level, you can come back quicker than anybody else.
You know, Charlie, what I've been talking about, too, a winning team like the Buffalo Bills have like a well of reserves to dip into. I mean, they know where to go with a win, where to go to get a win.
Little onside short squib kick that is touched by the Jets, recovered by Buffalo, and they have the ball. It doesn't have to go 10 yards to recover it if it is touched by the receiving team, and it was.
Just a low line drive kick that went right into Hamilton.
Right into Hamilton, and then Steve Christie, the kicker, jumped right on it.
And another case of snatching a win from the jaws of victory for the New York Jets. Hadn't led since December of 1995 against the team, and they lost that game too. Led in those two key fourth quarter bungles. You had the interception, you had the bad snap, were the difference in this football game, momentum-wise and point-wise.
And for the Jets, it was the return of Keyshawn. As now Kelly will just kneel down to make it official as we take the countdown. And so, like Atlanta, the New York Jets are still searching for their first victory, and the Bills are tied with Indianapolis for the lead in the East. The final score, once again, the Buffalo Bills 25, the New York Jets 22. So we saw more action from the Jets than we thought that we might in this ball game.
Well, what you saw from the Jets was a good aggressive defense at times that had